Hello everyone, here we go. Another recommendation from you all, and I always seem to be so blown away at how you guys keep with me fantastic games to play. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I know nothing about this game. The only thing I know is that it's supposed to be funny and that there's supposed to be multiple endings. That's it. That's all I know. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll have to play through this a few times. If you're excited for this, do me a huge favor real fast. Smack the like button. Let's check this out. The end is never the end. The end never...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Aww.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, so I guess I'm in control now. Hold on just a second. I want to check my settings, make sure everything's coming through okay. It's a new headset. Not quite sure if it's all working yet. All right, everything checked out. I think it's working good. Oh, man. This already has a very interesting start. Good old Stanley, man. So can I, like, click this? Wow, this, I feel like I spin really fast. Let's see. Should I change my field of view? Let me check that. I don't know if that makes it feel any slower. I don't want to be making anybody sick trying to watch this, but wow. It really does have like a office vibe to it. I'm pushing the E button like it's an interaction thing. I don't know if that's just because of all the Half-Life games I've played. Oh my goodness, that spins fast. Wait a minute, I think there was a mouse sensitivity. Oh, there we go. That's much better. So I put the field of view kind of back to where it was, but I slowed down the sensitivity there. Oh, much better. Coffee mugs
All
everywhere.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Missed a memo.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's wild. It's like it's being narrated as I do it. Who farted? Oh yeah. I like the game already. It's got a fart joke in it. All right, meeting room. Checking all these. It makes a sound when I push E. Maybe it is the interaction button. Oh. Well, yep, I did something there for sure. So wild. Okay. Oh, there's a door open over there. Can I turn all these off? It's like everybody's just disappeared? Is there like a jump button or something maybe? Oh, okay. Wow, papers everywhere. It's like people left in a hurry. There's a... Oh. Is there a squat? You know, it didn't have any kind of tutorial. I don't know what buttons do what. I'm just moving at the moment. I hate Mondays. Oh. Can't go in there? No. Okay. This is so awesome. I love it. The music is like just enough to create this ominous feeling of not quite sure what's going on. Sales in this quarter, I think it says in there. Oh, It had me enter the time when I booted the game up of where I'm at. I wonder if that's like significant
when Stanley
anyway.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Entered the door on my left. So this is where multiple endings come into play, I guess. I can decide. I'm going to follow the narrator on this one. If I play it again, I'll have to go to the right side, see what happens. Oh. Nice little scenery going on there. 412? What number was I again? Like 447? What number? No number on this door. Is this the meeting room?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Meeting room. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. RIP. What we got on here? We're broke Wednesday. Financial panic meeting. Boss inspection. What to do about 432? Office party. I guess there's no... Oh, that's a time along the bottom. I wonder what day it is. Oh, the projector's changing. Target. Push for funding for R&D. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper synergy guy. Who moved my desk? That sounds like a line from The Office. I appreciate that. Please keep the targets on topic of... And it's been smudged out. Okay, employee 431, Jim. Are there gonna be a lot of Office references in here, I wonder? I'm a huge fan of The Office. In fact, I almost wore my Dunder Mifflin shirt today. That would have been so appropriate. Standard employment salary. Wow, everything's going down on the chart. That's not good. Number of slides on this slide. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. That's awesome. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more slides. I'm begging. Stop. The Boss Appreciation Minute. On our Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out the triplicate solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but they're too fast. I can't read them. What are your dreams for the future? Okay, I don't know if any of this is significant. If it'll come back to play a role in my ending or not. It's fun to see it though. Throw something in the idea bin. A lot of percent. Teenagers. Size of demographic. Space between teenagers. We need... The blue's kind of hard to see there. 402 plus 405 wants to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to the teenage demographic. And teenagers put the teenage demographic. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of... Okay, now it's starting over. I was like, there's a lot more there. Synergy. Shift global. Monetize. Free to play. That's topical. Okay. The broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Got back on track. I wonder if this narrator's gonna get, like, annoyed with me. Okay, I can't do anything with any of this.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So I wonder if, like, each time there's a choice like this, if this is deciding my path. Like, if I decided to go down instead of up. I wonder if that would have changed something. Ooh, nice office. What's it say? Executive bathroom. Yeah, let's check out the executive bathroom. Oh, we can't see Stanley. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, Money Crisp. Extreme bathrooms. Okay, well, I can't look out here. I sure hope that's... I hope that's recording okay. I still feel like it spins awfully fast. Alright. What we got here? Can we open these? Looks like you can almost see through the cracks a little bit there, but no, can't open those ones.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him, and so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm jotting that down, because I'm going to explore this room. I don't want to forget what that said. Okay. Can I interact with any of this stuff?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I was going to keep repeating it. I guess I don't have to worry about forgetting it. Alright, well, I guess...
2845.
Okay.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. What we got going on here? Okay, I don't know if this is taking kind of a scary route. Do I have a flashlight? I don't have any way of lighting things up. I have so few controls. I'm nervous. What have you guys set me up for here? It's supposed to be really funny, right? Oh, I don't know if I want to push this. Okay. I hope you guys haven't like set me up for something really scary.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ooh. Oh. Oh, it's shut behind me. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know what's going on
Stanley
here.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, another decision. I kind of want to follow the narrator for the very first playthrough. It'll be fun to come through and see what some of these other choices are after the fact, but I kind of feel like we're going to listen to this guy for the first playthrough. What in the world? An idea button, huh? This is kind of freaky, guys. What are you doing to me?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Ooh.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oh yeah, we got this, Stanley. Let's find out. Oh, there's 3 desks here. Camera, okay.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
Oh, wow.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Whoa. Employee 447. Was 447 me? It's 44 something. I'm trying to see if I recognize a room. I thought it was 44 something. It was 457? No, definitely not 457. I wonder if I'm going to need to know that. I guess I'll find out. This is so weird. What is going on? All right.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Like how some of the monitors are like stacked in really weird places. And it looks like it goes up to 600, but then it says hired. Okay, so there was a 601, maybe a 602 over there too. I wonder if we're going to end up near that stairwell I see up there, or the bridge.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I don't know.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, Stanley. You felt that determined there, buddy. Can I interact with any of this? Okay. I guess I need to go up into that room. This is so weird. Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Okay. I guess.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I kind of want to push on this one. I feel like if I'm going to follow the narrator, I need to push the off, but, okay, like I said, we're going to stick with the narrator for this first playthrough.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
That is
Whatever
pretty.
life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I'm waiting till it goes all the way down.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Is that the first playthrough right there? Beat the game. Get your first achievement. Seriously? So now I'm set up to where I can run through it again. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was kind of cool. You know I gotta do it again. That didn't take too long. I'd say 20 minutes maybe? Alright. What decision do I want to change? That's the hardest part, is trying to figure out which decision do I want to change this time. I want to see what happens when I push the power on button. That, out of all the decisions, that's the one that had me most curious.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, this is so fun. I wonder how many different endings there are to this thing.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, I did. I think I can remember all the decisions I made the first time, just because
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
I followed the narrator, so that should be pretty easy.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Narrator ain't waiting on me this time. If anything, he's like, slow down, dude.
Stepping into his manager's
2845?
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
if it changes.
not an indication of any human life.
I'm gonna wait on this in just a second.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Okay, it is
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright. I'm kind of assuming everything lays out the same if I continue to do the same choices.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
that
read
one
Mind
I was really
Control
curious about
Facility.
too. That one I might try next. Because we already found the exit.
Rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
So I wonder what the escape could be.
What did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This is wild. This is the wildest, most. It's like I feel like I got to play through this multiple times to get the answer to what the story actually is.
Building, Stanley's co-workers, the lives of so many individuals.
Oh, I forgot to check to see which one was me.
Screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I thought it was 447, but I'll have to double check that.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
We're about to find out something different here in just a moment.
No,
I'm going to turn the machine on.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
I wonder if all the paths are that short?
His entire life utterly blind to the world?
I wonder if they're all that short, or if certain ones are longer.
Controls labeled.
Like I wanted to walk down there. I see stairs leading down to it.
Or content, walking, eating, working.
And I want to push
all of
that.
it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Here we go.
For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Nope. Oh, I'm curious what's going to happen.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
Oh, no.
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Oh, I could try to escape.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Oh my
Mere
gosh.
moments until the bomb goes off. But what
Okay, go
precious
this way.
moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Oh,
What
no.
all this means, I barely know where to start.
This is so weird.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Or the 5 was over there.
Good mood. You're
Are there
gonna
5
die anyway.
five different buttons?
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
Okay.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Okay,
Other
1.
times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you,
There's a
it's
10?
quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Oh, I'm
but
dead.
I'm enjoying this so much.
I'm a dead
You
man.
know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
What? I don't know what to
Dear
do.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Yeah.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from
What?
button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these
Can I go
colored
push
ones.
off?
Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything. Something here will save me.
Let's see if I can turn it
How
off.
would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Oh.
Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Not at all.
Stanley,
Dude's sick.
you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
What?
To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted
blue?
to control this world, that's fine.
Blue 3.
But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
This is so
That's
weird.
30 seconds you have left to struggle.
I don't know where the
30
three's
seconds
at.
Until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you
No!
being blown to pieces. Will
Stanley!
you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
I can't even read anything on here now.
Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me.
I
All
wanna
a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until
Oh,
the moment I
no.
say happily ever after.
Oh. That was wild. My goodness, that's so different. That one decision changed so much. All right, this time I want to see if anything changes if I opt to go down the stairs instead of up. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to see what's in that choice to go down the escape path. I'm going to see about there. But I'm just going to swoosh us to at least the stair choice.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're going down instead. See what happens. Oh no, it's red. I feel like that's a bad thing. Oh, it's like a parking
But
garage?
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Good question.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
No.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
This is so weird.
The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
So weird.
I am okay.
I don't want to move.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
Chills.
Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
What?
She rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Wow. It's like... I don't know how to describe this. This is the weirdest game I've ever played. So the things that we've learned so far, assuming any of it's true, the narrator says that he erased everybody. But we just found that lady outside the building, which means there are other people. They're just not in this place. So going downstairs, my character went mad. And from what I could tell, there was nothing to click on, nothing to interact with. So... Okay. Let's see what's down that escape path. Now I'm really curious about that one. Is it an escape? Gosh.
Stanley froze.
Wonder if anything happens if I punch it in ahead of time.
Soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
I wondered.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, that's hilarious. Wonder if you can, like... He talked...
Soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
He mentioned, like, he was pulling books off the bookshelf and stuff. It made me wonder if there's actually something in here that can... But we're gonna stick with the path. We're gonna keep going with that plan of, checking the escape route. I wonder what happens if I punch in the wrong number. That's what I'm curious about now. There's so many decisions you can make. I haven't even went through the right door yet.
Through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope. I went this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? No way.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope, I'm committed. I'll go for it.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's right. Stanley ain't afraid. Oh man, Stanley's afraid. Is it just a straight drop? Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No way! I can't do anything.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Pushed E on the bottom of that. I don't know if that changed it or if this actually is just the story proceeding. I don't know what's going on. Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
It is... What? Just when you think they couldn't throw something more weird at you? The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors were the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, but the core layout remains almost identical to... Oh, was this the original? I got the deluxe version. I think I heard something about it's more like just a added on or a remake of the original. Oh, so this is my office. This is where I come down. And that's where I make the decision between the 2 doors. I see. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is mixed of keyboard strokes. Oh, so these are like the credits. This is wild. I don't know how else to describe it. So once you turn these off, though, you can't turn them back on. Okay. I've got 2 paths here I could choose. There's no doors, though. I feel like if I go through one, I can still come back. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the boss's office. Oh, so this is what they... Office clock. Wow. So am I dead? Lounge. Underground. That's the escape. An early version.
The number 8.
An early version of the underground portion of the game.
This elevator for sure would get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story.
Kevin Brighting, voice narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game. Roughly three
surprise party for him for all his button pushing. Does that sound
roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are the clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
And finally, he pushed the number 9.
This is such a wild experience. My goodness, no wonder you guys were so excited for me to try this and told me not to check out anything before coming in here. Because how do you describe something like this? The freedom ending, that's the one I got. Oh. Countdown desk, one of the desks from the early versions of the countdown. Freedom ending. What's this? Countdown room. Early version. Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily solved that. Although for a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the 2 endings together instead. On or off. Man, there's so many paths here. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from this mock is still in the game. Oh. So cool. I'm curious to see if it shows like other possible endings. The lounge, the office, the cargo lift. I haven't seen that one yet. The second version is functionally the same as what it looks like in the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo would actually be stored. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version was decided, we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Oh, wow. I'm lost. I don't even know where all I've gone in here now. One option. One doorway to maintenance, to the lounge, to the vents. So I've gone down the obey path every time so far. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Wow. My goodness. There's still so much of this game I haven't looked at. What is this? Zending model. The Zending was through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever, and the narrator would describe the color they pulled. Guess I can't do that here. Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. The game is now paused. Begin the game again, resume the game. Oh, the escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape room. Unfortunately, very few players realized that this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. We had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Oh. They didn't know to go back and restart again, I guess. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one, released in May 2012. It features a series of broken rooms and the voice of the narrator, informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of the Stanley Parable. Okay. I'm not exactly sure how I get out of this place. Okay, that's where I was at. Was there another choice in here? Did I go this way? Okay, now I've looped back to where that was at. That says exit. Okay, that must be how I get out of this place. I feel like there was still one more hallway back here that I had not checked. Okay, remember those to help me get back to wherever that exit is. Yeah, this way. I didn't go across here. I remember seeing that little 431, 436. I've never seen credits like this before. This is fascinating. Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Okay. Oh, I think I did just make a circle. I saw these pictures, but I didn't actually get to see what was on them. Oh, look, there's money raining down on that one. Wow. I didn't see a... Oh, here it is. Ultra Deluxe announcement. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of the Stanley Parable at the Game Awards. These are the screenshots of the videos we made for the announcement and the game's delay. Warzone. Alien base. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on the battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh. Oh, that is so wild. Okay. Ultimate goal. Can I find my way back to the exit? Or is this all new area? Oh. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. First was created in November 2011, then March 12, 2012, and the third, February 2013. Okay, so they added a box, opened up some of the drawers. Looks like he has one computer now instead of two. There's a picture on the wall. Okay. Can I go in these? Okay. For a second there, I thought I was going inside. Wow. All right. Time to take the exit. I guess I did die?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Quit to menu? I don't know. Will that do something here?
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh. Am I back in the room now? Wow. That was wild. Is the box? Yeah, the box is over there. Okay, well, I will probably keep all of this together as one video. Obviously, there's still a lot of choices that could be made here. So maybe on the next time I play this, I will go down the right door and we'll see what all happens over there. Let me know in the comments, have you played this game before? How many endings have you seen? I don't even know how many endings there are. If I had to guess, I'd say there's got to be at least 20 that I can think of. If there's as many decisions down the right side as there is down the left, because like I haven't entered in a wrong number, I haven't figured out how to maybe stop whatever happens in that room with the countdown. I did have that one door that was open for a minute and then it shut right before I got there. I don't know if it's because I hit the number 5 on the door and didn't make it out. Plus, I don't know if there's a combination that you can punch with all the different symbols and stuff in there. So many decisions. Plus the fact that each time I've gone right into the boss's room, I almost feel like if I look around outside of there, there might be a way to go through the doors on the right, because you can kind of see through there a little bit, almost like there is a room over there, but I don't know. This is pretty cool. I'm so glad you guys recommended it to me. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably a longer video than normal, but I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more Ultimate Stanley. I'd appreciate it. If you could do me a huge favor real fast, smack the like button. I'll see you on the next one.